This is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Review. Well, happy holidays. But let me share that many of us aren't feeling the festivities from this market and from where this economy is going. And I want to talk to you about the top 10 mistakes that people make in planning for retirement. So whether you're somebody listening that's trying to get better to retirement or better through retirement, it's never too early, it's never too late to figure out where you can be to do your best planning starting in 2023. Number one of the top 10, and this is coming from financial planners from around the nation, not just polling individuals, but planners saying these are our clients' top 10 retirement planning mistakes. Number one, not factoring in enough for inflation. And boy, does that ring true with what's happened here recently, right? 41-year high inflation. Now I'm going to go through all 10, and I teach this on Hidden Wealth Radio, but I'm going to address almost all of these and how to overcome them, avoid them, or just prevent them altogether this coming Tuesday at retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com. Secondly, and I'll go through these with you kind of rapid fire, but secondly, which I thought was kind of interesting, was people not preparing to live a longer life, right? Right now, statistics would tell you that a couple in their mid-60s, one spouse has better than 50% odds of living past the age of 90. That's interesting. I could go on and on, but there's not that much time on a video blog. Overestimating investment income. You know, a lot of people believe in this 4% rule. Throw it out, folks. Not only does it not account for taxes, which, by the way, none of the top 10 are about tax planning. None of them. So once again, if this is coming from planners that they're sharing their client book of business, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500,000 clients, and the top two are inflation, right, and living too long, well, imagine how taxes are going to hammer us on that. And taxes didn't make the top 10. That tells you a lot. But I'll teach you how to avoid taxes, which we find if you're a strong saver and a higher income earner, if you're still working, or if you're not working, you just have high income because you save too much in your IRAs and 401ks, retirementprotected.com, that's retirementprotected.com, and let me teach you. Being too conservative. So overestimating returns, then being too conservative, right? Too hot, too cold. Settling for unrealistic returns, believing you're going to make 15, 17, 20% because we've been lulled to sleep prior to this year, and now all of a sudden people are down 25%. They don't even talk about negative sequencing of return risk either, which I talk about next week. Forgetting to factor in healthcare costs. So if you're in your mid-60s, Fidelity ran a report that it's projected that you'll spend out of pocket $315,000 and counting, high inflation costs to healthcare, of course. Failing to understand income sources, knowing where the best sources come, because again, many of us grew up on this, our parents grew up on this three-legged stool where we had pension, we had savings with good returns, and we had Social Security that wasn't going to go broke or obviously have to take a reduction. Now we are our own pension, and I want to teach you how to create your own personal protected pension this coming Tuesday, but don't factor that. We have to create our own pension. It's the yo-yo plan I talk about in my books. You're on your own to create your own pension. And we know savings pays little to nothing. Even with this major run-up in interest rates, we're still trailing inflation badly. Making 3 or 4% of a return in a CD isn't going to scratch the surface of real inflation being 10, 12, 14%. And many people are losing money in the market, so they don't have a go-to on that second leg. And Social Security is going to have a reduction in 10 years now, it's hard to believe, or less, of a reduction of 23%. Failing to understand income sources, as I said, relying too much on public benefits like Social Security. Many people, over 50% of their income, they rely on coming from Social Security, which is a great increase this year, but boy, it's been really low and it's trailed inflation by a long shot, so it's not keeping pace, folks. Average Social Security income nationwide is about $20,000 per year. Underestimating real estate costs, because even when we pay off our mortgage, if we're in a hurry to do that and take away our deductions, we still have property taxes, insurance that are escalating, right, in a high inflation environment. And then being too aggressive in investments. Some people trying to make up for lost time and lost money can't afford to be down another 25% if you're already down 25% as it stands. And many people are predicting more market mayhem to come. Folks, you work hard for your money. Go to retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com. And let's get to work. Let me teach you what the ultra wealthy do to have upside without downside. Learn institutional, how you can drastically cut your risk, but increase your returns. Get away from all these retail accounts like mutual funds, but address the taxes. If you're going to get more return with less risk, if we're not addressing the taxes, you're just setting yourself up for a bigger tax liability. Folks, you work hard for money. Let's get to work. Retirementprotected.com, retirementprotected.com, and learn where you can be in avoiding the top 10 retirement planning mistakes in 2023. Here's to your hidden wealth.